Welcome back everyone. So in this video we'll get this really badly rusted tank completely rust free. So loads of great little tips to pick up here. If you look inside there, you can see it's got a real bad layer of rust. So I'm not going to run you through a real complicated way of doing things. This is nice and straightforward. Most people will have all these things at home, but this is a step, this first step, that you just cannot neglect. So as you can see, washing up liquid, and then I'm basically using a wallpaper stripper. So one that if you ain't got, you'll know somebody who's got one. So what I'm doing here is just removing the end, and we're not going to use that part. So as you can see, we just throw that away. Plenty of washing up liquid inside the tank. Fill your wallpaper stripper with the water to the indicated maximum line. And once that gets onto a boil, we just want to place that hose right inside the tank. So we want to run through a complete cycle. So, you know, that could be on for like sort of 20-25 minutes, just boiling away inside the tank, removing all that grease and grime. So run that until you come back down to the minimum on the water level. And you're about to see the results, and you'll find it is quite amazing really what comes out. So, you know, a lot of people neglecting this step, not doing it, and you can see the battle the rust remover's got to get through all of that grime before it even begins. So really, really vital, important step. So giving it a good jet wash inside just to get the remainder of all that loose dirt and grime. And as you'll see, there it comes out again. You want to repeat this until you get a nice clear flow. But you can see there the extent of exactly what we've removed from inside that tank. And as you can see here, just with the degreasing process, it's started to break into a little bit of that rust. So it's removed all the dirt and grime, and it's really starting. You can see how it's the rust remover is really going to start to work now. So I'm using Flow Liner Bio Rust. This is a safe, non-toxic, biodegradable product. So this 1,000 gram tub of the rust remover will make 20 litres of actual product. So obviously measure out your amount of the crystals to the amount of water that you need. So just fill up your tank, and as you can see, I've got quite a big container that I'm using. The beauty is with this product, you can use it again and again. So if you're starting a restoration, it'll do for more or less everything you've got to do, and you could just throw it basically away at the end. So in my case, I used 2 lots of the bio rust, which gave me like sort of the 40 litre capacity. Another vitally important step in this process is, as you can see here, I'm taking that bio rust over the top of the fuel tank neck. Now that is so important, because if you don't do that, what'll happen if you fill it up thinking you've filled it up, you'll get an air bubble pocket at the top of the tank, and if you put your fingers into the top of the tank after you've done the rust treatment application, you'll feel it rough like sandpaper because it actually doesn't get to the top. So to submerge the tanks is vitally important. So I've gave this a couple of hours in the bio rust. I'm just taking it out and I'm going to give it a jet wash just to remove some of that loose rust. So when I leave it in overnight, it's got a real good chance to break into the remaining rust. So as you can see here, some major changes taking place already. So just a little bit left there, but as I say, we'll give it this overnight soak. Well, it's the next day, so we'll get it out now and carry on with the process. So nice little tip here, I'm actually using the steamer just to generate heat inside the tank, so we can get that flash rust down to a minimum. So by putting the steamer in, you're actually building up so much heat in the tank that that'll help to actually dry the tank as well, as you can see here on the outside. So obviously from now on, the name of the game is to get the inside of the tank dried out as quick as possible. And if you have got access to an airline, you could blow air in there. If you've got a good heater, you could put it in front of a heater, get some heat there so you dry that inside out as fast as you can. You could also spray in a WD-40 or thinners. Obviously, looking at these images now, you can see how far the tank's actually come. So great results. It gives the tank a new lease of life. This brings me to more or less the end of the video. So please press the subscribe button, give me a like. If there's anything you need to know, any questions, just drop it down in the comments and I'll answer it as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Join me again on the next video. See you all soon.